Hello, welcome back to the bus. This is another one of our video updates, and I'm going to talk about kind of what we've been working on and how things are going. So the weather is just shitting all over me for the last, I don't know, month. I get a nice day every once in a while, but it's been fucking cold and rainy and just altogether shitty for working semi-outside. Which is frustrating because I have a little bit of a timeline, deadline that I'm trying to reach, and that is next weekend, the weekend of April 7th, is Forge Midwest, which is my absolute favorite little gaming convention to go to. Lots of indie designers. It's a small con in Madison, Wisconsin. Excuse me. And it's the one thing I really look forward to every year. And honestly, I haven't had any social interaction for about a year. So I could really use some time to kind of hang out with people. And several people at Forge are individuals who have supported this project through the GoFundMe. You can see my breath, it's so cold. And so I wanted to bring the bus to show them kind of, what their money's been going to and how the progress is going. I find it's always great for people to experience the physical item that they're supporting when we're doing things like that. The problem is I have to paint beforehand, which I was hoping to do sometime this week, but now it looks like it's going to rain for the next 2 days. Hopefully Friday, Saturday, and Sunday it's going to be nice out, which means I'm going to try to get some friends down and see if we can at least get the top painted. The reason that that's a priority is, as you can see the pretty blue outside the windows, I've had a tarp over the bus all winter, and that's because I need to do some additional sealing on the seams that are on the roof, just to make sure that we don't have any leaks that are going to leak in. Now, the rock wool insulation that I put in is water resistant, it's mold resistant, fungi resistant, animal resistant. It's good stuff, so water isn't going to collect on it, which is good, but my fear is even a small leak, if it gets inside and runs down the walls, could get into the flooring. And it's really hard to take care of mold issues under the floor now that it's in, and I don't want to have to rip up the floor to take care of any water issues that have presented. So I really need to get the bus painted before it hits the road. And thanks to Jansen, the paint is here. I have about half the paint I need, the rest is coming in a few days, as well as some sealant stuff that is going to be used on the ceiling seams to really make sure that there's no leakage going on. And the the paint that was ordered is this stuff. It's elastomeric paint, which means it's kind of rubbery, so it helps with sealing. And the stuff that we bought is called Bus Coat, and it comes from a company called High Tech Sales, and it's actually an offshoot company of NASA. And so in 1996 is when they made this stuff available. It's very similar to the paint they use on the space shuttle, which I think is kind of cool. And it's got all these really tiny silica beads that are hollow, mixed in with the paint. And so when the paint dries, that kind of compresses down the layers, and then you have this really fantastic UV and heat resistant layer that just kind of reflects everything back out. So instead of being inside a tin can that is slowly heating up when the sun is shining, it helps keep those temperatures down, which is going to be really, really important in the bus. Especially because AC isn't something that's going to happen, at least this year, and I'm kind of hoping it's something I don't really need to do, but odds are I'll have to get an air conditioner at some point. But so that is going to happen as soon as we get a stretch of nice days, because it's not just a matter of applying the paint. I have to go up on the roof, do a little bit of light sanding, remove any loose paint, put the Elasto-Seal on each of the seams, but even that I have to wipe everything down with like acetone or something to really make sure it's really clean, there's no mold, there's no residue, and then the bus coat can go on, and it's 2 coats and then a clear coat. So yeah, I'm hoping for like 3 good days because also I have to crawl on top of the bus and on the sides of the bus to remove like the school bus letters, you know, stuff like that. And so, yeah, I just need nice days in the next week to be able to do this. The second problem that hit with bringing the bus to Forge is really frustrating, and it's one I don't really know how to resolve right now because it's going to be a financial issue to fix it. And that is the steer tires on the back. So there's 2 tires up front, 1 on each side, and the rear tires are 2 sets of tires, so 2 pairs. The outside tire, and these are called steer tires, have actually developed these really horrible dry rot cracking along the sidewalls, and so that's not safe to drive because the tire could blow out, and since you're steer tires, not a good thing if you're going highway speeds. The problem is to replace a pair is going to be about $600. And I did not budget for this. When I bought the bus, I looked at the tires, I thought everything was fine. But now from sitting through the winter, I don't know if there was maybe a coating on it that kind of hid the cracks, but they're pretty severe. I'll post a picture up on the Google Plus collection for the Jenterprise so you can see it. But whatever the reason, the tires are not good now. And so I need about $600 in the next 2 weeks to be able to drive the bus up to Forge. Otherwise, it's just not going to be safe. So that's really frustrating because I didn't budget for this at all. I don't have $600 in the budget to buy the tires. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to handle that. But ideally, I'll get it done and I'll drive the bus up. If I can't, I'll be bummed and people at Forge will be bummed, but what I'll just have to do is go to Forge anyway, not bring the bus, and just talk a lot about the bus. I'll just take a bunch of pictures or something. I don't know. I'm just really hoping it works out. So feel free to send money to the Jenterprise GoFundMe account to help buy new tires for the bus. Because it's going to have to get done one way or the other. I just really wanted it done by next week, so that's bumming me out. But so that's that. And if the rain has stopped enough, I'll take you outside and I'll actually show you what the tires are looking like. But I'll kind of walk you around now and I'll show you the other stuff I've been working on and kind of where I'm at, and that'll be that. So I'm going to take you out of this, and then here we go. All right, so here's the inside of the bus. It's lit because obviously it's shitty outside. These are the wheel well covers. Aren't those sexy? And so what I've got going on here, I'll show you this one actually. They're not sealed down yet. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. So there's the wheel well, the frame that's built around it. And what I'll do is in here, I'm gonna do a little bit of the Great Stuff spray foam that people use for like piping and sealing their houses and stuff along the edges and the base, and then I'll fill up the top with leftover rock wool shavings from when we put the insulation in. And so that's going to happen probably today, and so I'll be able to screw those down, and then the wheel wells will all be covered. Over here, so here's our water tanks built in the enclosures. The enclosure goes all the way around it, a piece of wood on top. And what I'm going to do is actually build drawers that I can pull out into the garage area. And like this will be storage that I can access from the garage area back here for like camping supplies and stuff like that. And then on the front, there's going to be drawers that pull out that are also stairs so that the dogs can get up the stairs onto the bed, which will be sitting on this platform here. And here is the plumbing I've been working on, which is upside down from your view, but this is the water pump. There's the inline filter, and here's an accumulator tank. And so what's going to happen is this guy right here, this thing, this is going to go, let me see if I can get it open with one hand. I'm sorry for the wiggliness. I can't get it open. I'm dropping everything. Chaos. I'm sure this is very entertaining to watch. bucket. Inside there, that's going to go on the outside of the bus, like that. And it's going to be affixed down over there. And those are our inlets. This big one right here is the gravity fill. And so that's like if I'm filling it up with buckets or a hose or something. And this is the inline bypass for city water. So like if I'm hooked up to city water directly, this will bypass the pump and stuff so that the system's already pressurized when it gets to the sink and stuff. Oh, and now it just opens. So there's the inside. Anyway, it's got a nice lock on it so I can lock it from the outside. So yeah, so the pump and stuff is gonna go on the garage side so I can access it from the garage if there's ever any problems. And then it's going to run from there through the wall system. This is the beginnings of a shower, this nice barrel here. This will get cut down and be like a shower basin. And then I'll have a curtain that'll go around it that I can pull back. And then the shower head will be right over here. And then more water running. The water heater is going to be installed right around here somewhere because this will actually be kitchen sink territory. And so the heater will be behind the kitchen sink. The heater is propane and electric, and it's a direct spark ignition. Direct spark ignition. So that I can just hit a switch on the inside to start it up. So like when I get up in the morning, I hit the hot water heater to get some hot water. I can take a shower, use it in the kitchen. When I'm not using hot water, I can just shut it off, which is kind of cool. So yeah, so that's that. And then here's the rest of the mess. I've been cutting wood inside because it's been so crappy outside, which has made for a lot of sawdust issues. But I have this handy tool right here, which is like a mini leaf blower. And so I've just been blowing all the sawdust outside of the bus. When it gets nicer, I can cut wood outside and bring it in, which I'm going to want to do soon because once I start doing the good framing, getting some of the actual stuff in, I'm not going to want sawdust all over to have to clean up over and over. So yeah, so that's that. Let me take you outside because the rain's not too bad, and I will show you what the tires look like if I don't fall down the stairs with the camera. Alright, so here is our rear tire. As you can see, there's all these cracks. It's hard to see in the wet part. There's cracks all over the tire. And so I got to get that fixed before I can get her on the road. But that's your Jenterprise update for the day. I'll catch you later. Bye.